It is. It is.
So now, let us get the list of this requirement for building approval.
Okay.
Because now, aside the drawing, there are other things. If you're a taxpayer, you require your tax documents and all that. Can we just have a list of what you require to submit for your building and how long it takes? Because sometimes you discover some people saying it takes 1 year, it takes 2 years, and they keep coming to harass you, keep coming to say you must comply, you must get your building registered and all that. So how long does this process of building approval take? And what is that you require? And what is that causes delay?
Okay. I'm not going to throw LASPA under the bus. Neither will I throw LASPA under the bus. But then whatever I'm saying right now is going to affect them. They know me very, very well. My friends told me that I was there. They know I always steer them up because I tell them that I'm not going to forgive them because they're affecting me as well.
Yeah.
So basically, what you require is your first step is architectural drawing. You submit this stamp, they confirm, you pay your assessment. After that, you go to your tax. If you have a tax that is well paid, well detailed, you submit your tax returns, you submit to LIRS. LIRS have to vet and then confirm to the last part that is clear. Now, let me list out before I'll tell you the delays. After that, then you submit the other drawings to them. Then you have to do what we call LUPA. It's a documentation called LUPA. I think land use something sadly I've forgotten the full name. You go LUPA, you submit some other paperwork. There are quite a small papers that you submit, but they aren't rigorous. They're not. I can tell you, they're not rigorous.
It's straightforward.
It's straightforward. It's basic. There's some things that they're all basic. Now, after submitting all this, paper structures and they are vetting and signing and stuff, I still don't know what causes it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to throw them in the bus, but I will talk about that right now. Because I'll tell them that, okay, this is supposed to be signed. You confirm it and sign it, and there's no one. And it's taking like 6 months, 3 months. I've had a job I've had a job that was something last year, May, and we just got the approval last month, June, the whole year. At a point, the client said, I'm selling my land, I'm not doing it.
Okay, well, can we attribute this delay to politics?
Politics, no. I think the problem is the body, LASPA government structure itself does not have enough hands. They don't. They have to come out and let us know they don't have enough hands.
Or is it that they have a lot of jobs to do and they don't have the capacity
that's the point.
to take it up? So by the time they take it one at a time,
before you get to you are okay. By the time you take yours, you are like number 120. And the young guy is trying to sign.
But do they usually give number when you submit your document?
They just put your file on the next person.
So meaning you keep following up, you keep calling,
following up, going and there's something.
But don't you think if they go proper digital about this, put the digital things in place that you don't even need to come to their office, everything is digitalized, you submit your drawing digital, they give you whatever payment you do digital, make things kind of straightforward so that you don't need to be going there, you don't need to be checking up, you don't even need to see the person that reviewed your document.
I'm hoping, I'm praying that we get to that level because in the Western world, based on my experience and mine, I feel like this is what happens. You just submit and they take it through. Everything is digitalized. You don't have to see so much people who are over there.
And you don't have to take so much time.
In the UK, no more time. So much time, as long as you go through the right process. But here, it's because people are involved. Also, this is where we now talk about people that are trying to soil the name of the body in LASPA Labs. There are some people that are there that have now hell-bent on saying, if you don't give me something, you won't move fast. So, like I said, I don't want to throw them under the bus, but if we don't mention this, they don't know that these people are there.
And we don't know that things are really going wrong.
Yeah,
and this might be some of the delays you witness, especially when you're not that person that can give in to such corruption around that agency.
You've had people around you that will tell you, no, I'm not doing that. So please, let's stay there for our own sake. And I just want to go do the right and say, not pay anybody any extra. So something like that are happening in the industry. So they need to check. they need to check themselves and be sure that they themselves are doing the right thing. The people they get under them are actually doing the right thing before we can actually start saying the system is not working. The system is working, it's seamless. When I say seamless, you don't have any much stress, but it's just that some few things are still not paid off.
Right. Okay, yeah. You know, I think it's the present government reform, or is it from the past reform? Reform on states and federal agency that is ongoing. Do you think this agency, there's a turnaround from the usual way of doing things from this agency based on this ongoing reform? Federal agencies and state agencies.
Well, to be clear,
is there any change you've witnessed?
Of course.
In the past 2 years?
Of course.
So this year, then you can say there is a massive change, or there's minimal change.
There is. It's not a big boom. It's not like it's changing. It's changing big time overnight. But they are like different changes now. Like when you submit things, when you see the
doesn't take that long.
Like, okay, what's happening here? Okay, just like I completed for a year to give approval, I'm also enjoying an approval that came out in 3 months.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, wow, this is different. This is Lagos, I'm not shocked. But then, so we just need to check the bad stones, the stones in the beans, and then sort it out.
Okay, now that is fine. So now, regarding an architectural drawing, usually they confirm setbacks,
of course,
confirm boundaries,
of course,
confirm that the land on itself is free from any government
acquisition
and all that.
Absolutely.
So can you give us an insight into these setbacks, and why do you think they need to check for it?
Well, setbacks to me is very, very key, because setbacks is the space for hot air and cold air. If buildings becomes too close to each other, you don't get fresh air into your spaces. 1, 2, setbacks. Ventilation, yeah.
Environmental management.
It's good. That's absolutely. Number 2 is security. If your buildings are too close, imagine building A catches fire. It makes building B vulnerable because there's no space in between them at all. There's no space in between them. So those setbacks is for safety purposes, for environmental purposes, for ventilation purposes. So setback is always key.
What about for town planning purposes?
Well, town planning,
like roads, creation of roads, making sure your building is not close to
the road. Yeah.
Making sure your building is not obstructed.
But we talking about setback, not being close to the road. Some buildings have setback of standard setback, and recently roads are taking some of them because of development. But good thing is that you have that setback. So it's taken out of your setback, not your building. Because
most times you see governments coming to demolish buildings saying they are not in the required building line.
Yeah, exactly.
You get it. So meaning that compliance to setback is key. So that when there is even an enforcement to that, you discover that you are safe. Because we see some buildings that are just being constructed, and they are looking, everything good.
Yeah.
But you see government coming to, and people are saying, why? You know, if you're not a professional, you'll be thinking that is witch hunt sometimes. But compliance, this setback, work with this setback, work with the approved building line so as not to have these issues with government. Because government is there to checkmate what you
Of course. Every city has what I picture as a blueprint of their road. So if you come and build without something that's compliant to the road, and in the future X, Y, Z governor come and say that I'm ready to do this road, if you are obstructing, you will lose your building. So it's fair to say that most times, I won't say there's no room for witch hunts in some places, but I say 90% are actually because people are not doing the right thing.
Okay, so now you discover that when you look at some architectural drawing, there are grid lines.
Of course,
You get it. And grid lines equally determines how to place your building, at what elevation should we face, at what elevation should we be, at what building line it should be, where should be your entrance, where should be your back end. You get it. Can you tell us the importance of these grid lines?
Okay. Architecturally, grid lines for architects is to sectionalize your building. And when I say sectionalize building, because we are the bedrock of every design, is a way to tell your structural engineer where the columns should be. Because at every interval where your grid line crosses, there's almost tendency that you have a column there.
Okay.
So you almost
where it crosses.
Where your grid line in numbers and your grid lines in alphabet crosses,
Okay.
there's tendency that there's going to be a column there.
Okay.
So when you are designing and you put your grid lines and you know that it's crossing at a point, at a space where you don't want the column to stand, it allows you to to know that, okay, here there's going to be a column, but the architect doesn't want a column here, so I need to use my beam to carry it. So mostly it's more of a construction element.
Okay.
To
direct the supervisory team.
Yes, even when you are doing your
things.
setting out on site and you want to set out your foundation, you set out with the grid line because those are the columns. So the grid lines are always the column points. So you set out with the grid lines to get the columns before you now start doing the block, etc. So it's always a construction and very, very important element in the design.
Okay, so now regarding the foundation, and normally Lagos will do pile or do raft because of groundwater. So now this grid line, is it in any way associated to the foundation, or the kind of foundation you should do, or determine the pile locations, the pile number, or anything?
No, your grid line has nothing to do with your foundation. Okay. Your foundation type has to do more with your soil test.
Okay.
Soil test report. So your grid line is just basically design elements that guides every single person that will use that document. Okay. So they're all on the same page. If I send you my drawing and I put my grid line, you can draw anything out of my grid lines.
Okay.
So the engineer takes it, okay, you're giving us this drawing, this is the grid line, so I'm working with this grid. And my mechanical takes it, I'm working with this grid. Okay. So they are all on the same grid. It's like a region.
Okay, so now, from where do you generate this grid line? Is it from the survey plan, or is it from where?
It's from the design.
From the design.
So
from the design proposal, the sketch.
From the sketch. Once you have done your design, then you start putting your grid lines to guide yourself on how other people should follow. So this is from the architect is the person that propose grid lines. More to say, the structural engineer can modify subject to his structural elements. He's free to do that when he modifies and send it back to the
But there must be coordination.
So that's why the grid is like a religion. We all must follow it structurally. So if I'm telling you, I can't.
But it's the architect that gives it insight.
Gives it insight, and then it's okay. I need to put. If I give you a grid line A, B, C, D, then you say, oh, architect, sorry, I need to put a grid line in between A and B. Then he calls his own A prime in between A and B. So I'm just adding this because I need this here. So everybody has to work to grant with that particular grid line on the drawings. It's key, very key.
Okay, yeah, we have spoken so much about survey plan. Some persons that are not professionals in this field will be saying, what do they mean by survey plan? At what point do they survey plan? Please, can you give us an insight about survey plan? I know you're not a
I was going to say that.
Architect works with survey plan. This grid line, the setback and all that, is the survey plan that will give you an insight.
Yeah, so the survey plan is basically a registered document that shows the size of your land, the location of your land, and the density of your land. So it has nothing to do with construction. It's just basically, that's why when you're doing a survey plan, it only has something to do with land bureau as a department. So you do your survey plan, you register with the surveyor general. Yeah. So basically, it has your name on it. He has your address on it. He has the size. He has the
project status.
Everything is on it. Then the surveyor stamps and seal. Also, stamps and seal. So everything has to do with your land details, not the
design. Okay, so now, as an architect, can you give us an insight on what you require to prepare a firm design? A design that is free of correction when you go to your building approval, master and all that. You don't have issues. You don't have them saying, why is this like this? Why is it supposed to be like this? Can you tell us what you require to prepare the drawing?
Okay. I've said this several to students, and I'll say what I used to tell them. No design is perfect. No. Not even the best design architects in the world, after designing some time, go back to their brain and say, oh, why did I do this?
Okay, is it why after design, but before you get to site, it is required that both the architect, the project manager, the structural engineer, the MMP sit down and coordinate.
I have a design coordination meeting.
so as to ensure that everything is designed, nothing is clashing. The plumbing pipe is not clashing with the beam.
You check.
The slabs is not clashing with anything.
No design is perfect.
The ceiling level is as required. The headroom is proper. Everything is
absolutely. No design is perfect. And like what I used to tell them, I tell my students, I said, every design is one man's selfish thought.
I like that.
One man's selfish thought. So it doesn't mean that it's perfect. It doesn't mean that I take it to if my seniors do design, is their selfish thought. I bring it to them. I say, oh, I don't like this door being here because of my personal life. Doesn't mean the door being there is not good. I don't like my door facing my bed because of my personal life. Somebody will say, I prefer that door that way. I like to see my bathroom.
Okay, so now we can say that the coordination is for people to criticize
themselves, and then defend.
You get it. Then you will be at a point where you say, okay, there's need for this change to be made.
Yeah.
There's need for you to rectify this. There's need for you to modify this. There's need for you to review this. Because you discover that sometimes most projects don't do this. As a result of the client saying, I'm in a hurry, I want it now. They don't do it. You see them doing it aside, leading to variation, leading to extension of time, leading to variations, fluctuations, plus and expense claim being paid, the LED and all that.
Exactly.
So why is it that in the project schedule at the beginning there is no provision made for this to happen? For this coordination to be done, giving time, at least give a 1 month time to coordinate, have coordination meeting 1, coordination meeting 2, then the final coordination where you can come and say, okay, it's all coordination have been done, we have reached an agreement, this is how the building will appear, this is how it will be, so can we go to site?
Well, I can also tell you that your design review meeting with your team, with your every consultant, does not guarantee that there won't be changes in the design. Reason being that the adage says that until you turn the key to the client, your drawing is not perfect yet. That's why after you design, that's what something we call workshop drawings. Go back again and then do a drawing of exactly the way it is. Because whatever you design at first can never be what you deliver. You must have done small 25mm change here, 50mm change here, I did move this pipe here.
Okay, so now can we say that the workshop drawing is different from as-built drawing?
No, same thing.
Okay, so we can call as-built drawing as workshop drawing. Okay, so because as-built drawing is what you create after construction, showing how it has been done, that every modification you have been accommodated.
That's it. So when you finish, you have to do that for your clients. Some clients request for it, and we'll go back and take detailed measurement of every socket, switch, and keep it to them. That helps the client in the future. If there's leakage somewhere, it does
to identify where
it's coming from. It doesn't have to go to the old drawing because you might have changed things in the old drawing and it makes it obsolete. So you need to go with it as good.
Okay, so now we are understanding that there is construction drawing and there is as-built drawing. Construction drawing comes when the construction is starting, and follows through till
the
completion. Then you have as-built drawing that will now state how the building is.
And most with doing projects, construction drawing will always have what we call revisions. So you have revision A, revision AC1, AC2, revision B.
According to the insurance.
So you keep reissuing depending on where you get somewhere. This is not going to work. So okay, I'm reissuing another page. Review, I said page 2, revision BC. So we know that that page is not the final. You have another one under it. So you keep revising. That's why every construction needs attention. They're like babies. You're nurturing it until it's grown and well to stand on its own. Don't leave it.
Okay, so based on my experience and some projects I've managed, I've come to understand that workshop drawing is usually what the subcontractors under the MEP contractor prepares. Like you have the subcontractors, maybe either nominated or domestic, prepares. Okay. You get it. So
that's their work.
Okay. So you can as well call that you prepare after workshop drawing or as-built.
Yeah, because the workshop drawing is like you come into the project and you say, okay, I want to do this project, but then at least allow me to do my own drawing for you. Because I know that based on what we have here, there might be changes from what you have. Okay. So it's almost like a final of what we want to do.
Okay.
So nothing's going to change. Okay. until you do it and we all sit down, we all sign up. This is fine, you sign off on it. That means it's fine, I'll try. It's going to be different from architectural construction drawing.
Okay, so can you give us that list of what you require to prepare an architectural drawing?
Well, basically, architectural drawing requires basically one thing is understanding your brief. Give clients understanding your brief. You meet your client, it gives you a brief. Sometimes we behave like doctors because you need to know what the person wants. He tells you, I want my bedroom here, I want this here. When he's talking, his personality is in your head before you're creating your drawings. You just have to create your drawings the way you think the person is. You see him, you start also, okay, this person is not a big small bedroom person, he has to be big. Then you create your drawings based on your clientele's need. For the other ones for the government are just basically the setbacks and the landscapes and some other things. So for an architect to design, the key thing is
building codes. You need to understand it.
You need to understand. But basically building codes too are just setbacks.
Okay.
And the cross ventilation.
Okay.
That's what they require.
Okay.
And sometimes also understanding that some buildings, once like in Lagos now, once you have 5 floors, you must add lifts.
Okay.
You must add lifts to your building, so you need to understand. So they are basic building laws and codes in Lagos State. So
meaning that for you to have a good architectural design, you need to understand the building code. You need to have your survey plan. 3, you need to be able to synergize the client brief into your design.
Yes.
That is imagination, that is wish, that is need, that is thought, and all that. You should be able to come to the middle ground with him where he is satisfied with what
you need to be patient.
And you need to be patient with him. Then there will be need to have meeting with some contractors and all that, so as to understand
if this works.
If this will work based on their experience and their competence.
Exactly.
Fantastic.